Hey guys, I was just out visiting a pretty big construction company. I was out in site, I was talking to those guys, and I was talking to the lead estimator there, and he's like, we've got good estimators, we've got good software, but everything is still kind of messy. And I was like, yeah, we see this everywhere. So I thought I'd do just a little quick video about it because you can have the right people and the right tools, and your company's probably still going to struggle with winning jobs consistently. And it's usually not because of the estimating itself. It's what's happening before the estimating even starts. So in their case, the bids were coming in. They were coming in from everywhere. They got emails, GC portals, forwarded stuff, random attachments, different people getting them, nothing really centralized. And by the time something actually got to the estimator, it was already kind of either old, it was duplicated, or it was just simply broken. It was missing info, it was inconsistent, it was just, it's broken. So instead of estimating, they're cleaning up things first. And that's just like a terrible use of time. So the thing is, it's actually really common right now. The construction's getting more complex, labor's tight, pricing's all over the place. Everyone's trying to move faster. So companies go out and they buy the latest estimating software, which makes total sense, right? But that's where it usually breaks down. Buying software is really easy. Getting it to actually fit how your team works, that's the hard part. So on paper, the tools, they look great. When you go through the sales process, that sounds great. They promise faster takeoffs, better accuracy, shared data, etc. But in reality, you've got all these inputs that are messy, and the workflows are all disconnected, and estimators are still doing a ton of manual cleanup, right? So the software never really fixes the problem. So I asked them the same question I ask all my clients, which is my go-to question. Does the software that you have actually fit with how your team works? Not how you wish it worked, but how it actually works. Because every team's got their own way of doing things. And when the software doesn't match up with things, that's where things get messy. I'm sure you've experienced that if you've got an estimating team. You got workarounds everywhere, spreadsheets on the side, duplicate entry, people just avoiding the system completely and doing, they keep their own little folders on their desk. And at that point, you got a couple options. You can force your team to change everything to match the software, and that's real fun, right? Or you can adopt the system around your processes, right? So when I say this is where things start to click. Instead of forcing change, you just connect the gaps. It's like pulling in invites in automatically, cleaning up the data before it hits estimating, syncing between your tools so people aren't retyping everything, routing stuff to the right people without all the back and forth. So now your team can actually do what you're paying them to do, which is not to muck with a bunch of software and stuff, but to actually do the estimating. And honestly, this is what I see over and over. When Sean and I started this company, we weren't trying to sell software to everybody. We wanted to fix these problems. So, if your system feels clunky right now, ask yourself, is my system working for me, or am I working for my system? Right? Is it the tool? Is it the tool or tools, or is it the gap between your tools and your processes? Because most of the time it's the gap. So anyways, just something I was thinking about after that conversation. If this sounds like something you're dealing with, feel free to reach out to me or Sean at automatebetter.ai. We're happy to get on a call and review this stuff. Or if you're in New Hampshire, we're always on the road going out and meeting clients. We'd love to come meet you, have a cup of coffee, and we can talk over your processes and see if we can help you. Sometimes just talking through the process helps you realize where things are broken and what you need to fix. All right, talk to you later.